Howard Tipton, Town Manager for Longboat Key, and this is Tip Talks, which is a regular series of videos where we bring to you issues around the town, opportunities to get out and see different things. And I'm usually joined by a community member and or a member of our staff. And today I've got Chief George Turner with us, our police chief. Chief, welcome. Good to have you. And so today we want to talk about the safety side of unloading on the Gulf of Mexico Drive. So when it comes to loading and unloading, there's a right way and there's a wrong way. Let's do it right. Now, Gulf of Mexico Drive is absolutely our busiest street, as everyone knows. It has, roughly about 11,000 trips a day on it, so it is a heavily traveled road, obviously much heavier in season. And there are lots of things that happen on GMD, and so from a business perspective, there may be deliveries. From a car hauler, easy for me to say, perspective, during the early season and then late season, we see a lot of those coming in, and they can be real traffic issues. GMD for the most part is a speed limit of 45 miles an hour. That is pretty quick. And if you've got people outside of their vehicles or parked in the middle of GMD, can be actually a very dangerous situation. And so our number one job here, Chief, is public safety, right? We want to make sure everybody has the chance to get in their car, do what they need to do, and come home. And so let's talk a little bit about some of the things that we see. We'll start with the more seasonal piece, which is the car haulers. And obviously a risk. People need to be able to get their car off, but what are your suggestions for people in terms of how they should handle that?
Okay, well, obviously the car haulers are seasonal, both picking up and dropping off. GMD, nowhere on GMD is it safe for car haulers to unload. They can't get off the road far enough. They can never use the middle safety lane. So the town has designated an area on Bay Isles for them to do that safely, where they can call the owner of the car and have the owner of the car come there and pick the car up. And so we've made that public. We've made pamphlets, which we hand out to all the drivers when we find them. We have gone to the condo associations and the homeowners associations to make sure they know where they are allowed to. And we're very proactive in enforcing that, because it is extremely dangerous for having a car hauler unload cars in the middle of the roadway or on the side of the road. Most of the car haulers have been very cooperative with us when they have found that there is a location. Unfortunately, at times in the past, we've found that car owners have been paying extra tips for them to drop a car off, and that's just unsafe. So what we're trying to do is just to be safe, give everybody a safe place to drop their car or pick it up, and not have to cite anyone. The fine for a cite is $166. It could be given both to the truck driver and to the car owner. We don't want to do that. We just want to have voluntary compliance.
That's great. And so for both deliveries and for the car haulers, there's a responsibility for our residents. And so I'm speaking to you now. If you want to make sure that and be a partner with us in public safety, let's unload the vehicles where it is most safe to do so. And that's Bay Isle Road, right by where Town Hall is, up into that area where the tennis center is. All of that is a perfect place to unload the cars safely. It's, the island is about 10 and a half, 11 miles long. So it's not a far drive, no matter where you're coming from, easy to get to, and it's a safe way to be. But we need your help. We need your participation in this. And so we're going to be handing out these pamphlets, Chief. It's also on our website, so on the longboatkey.org website. If you go to the police page, you'll see that. Also, it should be on the main page as well. So that's on the car hauler side, and again, more seasonal. But because we have so much activity all throughout the year, we also see other deliveries. In fact, on my way up to the police department headquarters here, there was a big truck unloading all kinds of palm trees and other things because a new house was getting to the point where they were installing landscaping. So how do we want to handle or address the issue of those types of regular deliveries?
Well, those obviously building materials or supplies, trees, sod, that's being delivered fairly regularly out here now. There's so many new construction locations on Gulf of Mexico Drive. Again, they cannot unload or load anything in the safety lane, where there's a safety lane on Gulf of Mexico Drive. In those other areas where there is no safety lane, and there is no way of getting off the roadway, obviously they need to unload. There is no safe location on Gulf of Mexico Drive for them to do that. What we are asking and really telling people to do, the truck drivers, they need to get off the right side of the road, to the right of the bike lane, completely off the pavement. There are many locations that they can do that. Some are directly in front of the property. Some might be a little bit farther. And if and when it just becomes impossible to do that and be safe, then they need a property owner and or the trucking company or the truck driver needs to make sure that that's done in a safe manner, which would be to bring their own traffic control. To have a flag man out there, if they have to do, if they have the forklifts that are unloading on the tractor trailer, and there's a lot of heavy duty supply, the truck driver and or property owner is then responsible for providing that traffic control. We don't have the manpower to do that. There's too many trucks out here. They're out here daily, and the whole idea of that is safety. It is extremely dangerous. We've had fatalities in the past. People may not think about that, but just blocking the bike lane has caused fatalities in the past. That's what we're trying to avoid. Again, we'd rather have voluntary compliance. We try to help when we see these tractor trailers come out. They come out fairly regularly, and usually it's one driver. Well, then if there's only one driver, then the property owner is going to have to get out there and help. And you don't have to be a trained traffic control person to stand in the back and wave people around and or wake up a bicyclist that happens to be in a collision course with one of the trucks.
That's right. Head down, powering through, and got to pay attention. So, so when people need to make those deliveries, and I will say, our building department, tries to make the contractors aware of that same responsibility. If you've got a big delivery coming to a construction site, first option, be on the site. Second option, be off the road in front of the site. But if we can't do that, if GMD is just not wide enough right there, then, it's temporary. Everybody needs to be patient. Everybody needs to have deliveries at one point or another. And so, but making sure that the driver and or the property owner or contractor are making sure that there's a maintenance of traffic plan, that they've got, don't have to be filed with the town. You just have to know, I need two people. I need one in front, one in the back. And we just want to make sure that people get around safely.
And much the same, electric companies routinely have cones that they put out anytime they stop. It could be as simple as putting cones out and having a flagman out so that the people coming down the road at 45 miles an hour see that the road is partially blocked by this truck temporarily. And, that is just a fact of our life out here. We have to deal with that, but it's still dangerous. So it's their responsibility to make sure that no one else gets hurt.
It is. I can recall being called to a hospital many years ago where two of our employees, not at the town, this was in another position, were struck by a van and killed. Right. And it was a terrible thing to be with the families at the hospital, having to share that information and that news.
Right, and that's what we want to avoid.
That's right. That is absolutely. Car versus a person there's no win for the person. It's always bad, and right. So that's what we're trying to do. It's all about keeping people safe.
Yes, sir. Totally agree.
All right. Well, Chief, I appreciate that. Again, what we want to be able to share with people is that we take this seriously, but we need everybody's help to take it seriously as well. We all do our part, and everybody gets home safe.
Exactly.
All right. Well, that's all we have today. Gulf of Mexico Drive, GMD for short, is our busiest road by far. It sees the most activity in terms of trucking, and everybody needs to play their part in order to keep us safe. So we appreciate that. Chief, thank you. Thank you for all you do as we wind up this year. Your team out here has done another amazing job of keeping our residents safe, and we appreciate all that you do. So I hope you have a great holiday season, and as to the troops as well.
You too. Thank you, sir.
All right. Well, that wraps it up for us. That's Tip Talks for 2023, and we wish you all a happy holiday season. Most of all, we wish you a safe holiday season. Be well.